Kyler Van Noker was a 5-year-old kid who had neuroblastoma, a rare form of childhood cancer. There is a therapy for it. In 2007, he got the therapy. It went into remission. It came back in 2008, and his health insurance company, Health America, refused to pay for the treatment again. Kyler is now dead. Other people, Kyler was 5 years old. He didn't have quite as many options as an adult would. Our next guest, Terry Carlson, has chosen a different route. Terry has started Terry is a single mom with a pre-existing condition and therefore uninsurable. Her COBRA runs out in about a year. And she's looking at, well, I'll let her tell her own story, but her website is willmarryforhealthinsurance.com. First of all, Terry, welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
Just great. Great to have you with us. And you're coming in by Skype for our folks who are watching our web stream. And our board op, who is single, wants to be sure to say hi. Jacob sends his regards.
Well, hello.
Okay, so have we reached the point where we're trading, I mean, let me put this in the coarsest possible terms and let you walk that back if you want, but have we reached the point in America where we're trading sex for health care?
Well, this isn't about sex. This is about survival, and I don't think I'm doing anything else than someone who asks for criteria of how tall you are on a dating website, what your eye color is, what your religion is, etc.
Yeah. So you're a divorced mom who can't get health insurance. Tell us your story, Terry. We're talking with Terry Carlson. Her website is willmarryforhealthinsurance.com. How did you get here to this situation?
Well, it came out of the desperation that I had when Brown was elected to Massachusetts, and I realized that healthcare reform was not going to go through. And I realized the only person that can save me is myself. Yeah. And when I realized there were no options for me, my friends said, you can always get married for, health insurance, find somebody with health insurance. And I thought, you know what? I thought of all the options, and I said, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. You ask on your website, willmarryforhealthinsurance.com, Terry, you ask questions like, will I have to sell my house to pay for my health care and medications? Will I end up on the streets? Will I be bankrupt? Will I lose everything I've worked for all my life? Yeah. And you talk about how, even right now, your COBRA, your meds, and your physician copays take 90% of the current income from your job. That's pretty astounding. That's pretty astounding. And you're a single mom. You have kids or a kid?
I do. I have 4 children. Mm-hmm. Most of them are grown now. I have a 16-year-old as my youngest. Mm-hmm. But yes, it takes 90% of my current income, and that's with insurance. So I have a little bit of leftover savings from my divorce, and that's supplementing me to survive, but that's going to run out pretty soon. And, I work every day. I mean, I pay my taxes, and it really disgusts me that, somebody such as a murderer can go to be a drain on society and go to, jail and get better health care than I can get. And I've never committed a crime in my life.
Yeah, yeah. Over at your website, willmarryforhealthinsurance.com, I notice that you're using this as a metaphor. You say, I'm 45 and was born with a genetic immune disorder, C4 complementary deficiency, which is sort of like it's not like lupus, but the consequences are not that dissimilar. In other words, you need regular and relatively expensive treatment in order to stay alive, literally. And I have a sister-in-law with something very similar to this. I have some familiarity with it. And I think this is marvelous theater in a way, which is why I wanted to have you on. Beyond just your own personal story, you're using your website to illustrate this and talking about go to D.C. and there's actually in some places subtle and in some places fairly explicit call for activism on your website, willmarryforhealthinsurance.com.
There is, and you know what? When I started out about this, a little over a week ago, this was about me and my struggle. But what I've learned from this process, it's about millions. It's about thousands that have emailed me, and I am planning on adding another page to my website in the next couple of days, just to show the world some of the suffering people that are just behind this movement. That people are suffering with 10,000 times worse conditions than I have, that need health insurance, and they are stuck in the middle just like me. And it's, they're pulling for me, and so I'm a voice for them too. And this is so beyond just me. It's for everyone, and I will be the voice, and I don't care. And if I have to, and they call me that I'm here for the Democrats. It's just not about that. This is about humanity.
Well, in fact, you said you've been a Republican all your life.
I have. I voted for President Barack Obama.
But before that, you were always voting Republican. And I'm not criticizing you for that. I'm simply pointing out to our listeners that this is not about politics. You voted for Obama, I'm assuming, because you were hoping that he would provide health care so that you could live. And so far, it doesn't seem like he's doing that. That's my commentary, not yours. One of the things I found, although hope springs eternal, one of the things I found most interesting, Terry, and we're talking with Terry Carlson, a divorced mom, 45 years old, with a pre-existing condition that makes her uninsurable, whose COBRA runs out in November of next year?
It burns on May 1st of 2011.
Yeah, so that's your timeline, and shortly after that, if you can't find somebody to marry with health insurance, or if the president doesn't pass a national comprehensive health insurance program that is actually effective at that time, you will be facing death. And one of the things that I found most fascinating about the story of your experience, Terry, in this very brief time that you've had some publicity, some national publicity, and you put up this website, willmarryforhealthinsurance.com, is that so many of the responses that you've gotten thousands of responses or hundreds of responses, from men who are saying, I'm interested, let's talk, because for a variety of reasons, not the least of which being that you look really nice and you've got a decent story and you're a decent person and all those kind of things. But more interesting, I think, to me was the overwhelming response you've gotten from people who have no interest in marrying you at all, but they want to share their stories with you.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Just this morning I was reading, I have over 8,000 emails now, and I would say, maybe a little less than half are from people that want to marry me, but the rest are from people that are suffering just like me, and just the most tragic stories you have ever read in your life. And a year ago, I lay in my hospital bed, a year ago in April, and I wrote to the House of Representatives. I wrote to Congress. I wrote to President Obama. And to this very day, I have heard no word of anybody who cares if I live or die. So, it irritates me that people think that I've been hired by the Democrats. I hear that all the time.
Well, you're not hearing it from me. Your story is straight up. Terry, we just have 45 seconds left. A thought, idea, suggestion, maybe. There are match sites where you match up based on your chemistry or your looks or your age or your interests. I'm sensing a business opportunity here. If you get married successfully and you've got this URL, willmarryforhealthinsurance.com, perhaps you should turn it into a dating service for people who are looking for people who, first and foremost, have health insurance.
I've heard that from people before, and if somebody wants to help me with that, I think that would be a great idea, because there's millions that would jump on board, and millions of people that are just behind this whole program, and they need help too. Yeah,
you could do good by doing well, or do well by doing good, I guess is the phrase.
That's what this is all about.
There you go. Terry Carlson. Terry, I wish you the very best in life and in your efforts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us. Terry Carlson's website, willmarryforhealthinsurance.com.